glorious. No, I won't give in, I won't give in till I'm victorious.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another chassis variant series video. Here we are with the FLE-20. The FLE-20 is an infantry support model from the Capellan Confederation. It's actually probably the weakest in terms of armour because it strips off an extra half ton, but it replaces that with stealth armour and a Guardian ECM suite. Weapon-wise, it's pretty slim. 2 ER medium lasers coupled with a single light PPC, and I'll say now, my damage in this round was shit all. Although, I am happy because it's actually one of the very few mechs I have that comes default with stealth armour, so it will be my stealthy mech going forward. I do really like this build. I do a top of 99 damage, but that's because the build just isn't that great. The flip side though, for you people who love your customization, is it comes with 5 energy hardpoints. No missile or ballistics, but with the stealth armor capabilities of this mech, you can probably make something that's actually quite effective. I have to admit, the light PPC isn't a great weapon to choose, and the ER mediums are perfectly fine. It'd probably be better off if it was just like a 4 ER medium mech, maybe, stealthing around, shooting stuff in the back, and then moving on to another spot. It's a really good build, and it's nice to have a version of the Flea that is equipped with stealth armor or just Guardian ECM in general, because it means you can actually use it in its in a proper scout role. Even in MechWarrior it works very well in that regard. This round I mostly try to use it to stay hidden in plain sight. Obviously when they can't detect you or lock onto you, they tend not to look at you very often. And that's what I was doing, was peeking and shooting with the with the light PPC. I said ER PPC then, and trying to get hits. Actually, maybe an ER PPC version of this mech would work. Yeah, you could probably do some good snipey builds with this thing because of its height, but also the fact that it does actually have high mounted energy in the arms. Looking at that, actually, the locations of the hardpoints are as such. You have 2 in the arms, 1 in the left torso with the ECM mounted in the right torso. No CT mounted weapons on this model. This and the fire ant are the only 2 that don't actually come with center mounted energy hardpoints. It also allows you to mount mask as well. It's the second of the 3 models that come with mask as default as well. So not only can you get a good turn of speed out of it, and you're invisible to radar or sensors, it allows you to be quite a sneaky little fuck. And yeah, this is where you can see I was using it to peek and shoot, basically just harassing the mechs. Eventually I get rumbled because I don't move often enough. I should have moved more. I have to admit, my usage of stealth armor is pretty limited at this point, as I haven't really had any mechs that come with it before. But I've enjoyed it a lot. It's a nice little system. Prior to this, I was in a match on Terra Firma where I stealthed all the way around the other team, narrowly somehow avoiding a huntsman that was marching along, and got behind an enemy assault mech, and I just kept sort of appearing, shooting it in the back, backing off and turning off the stealth armor so I could reduce heat, and then repeating that, and every time I could just see him turning around to look at where he was being shot, and then he'd have to move on because he couldn't see anything. So that was quite fun. I do like stealth armor for that reason. I quite like light PPCs as well because they generate very little heat, but the damage is a bit naff. I know. It's not, as I said, it's not the best build, but then this wasn't a build that was designed to, and again, like the 19, isn't really designed to fight mechs. It's meant to fight vehicles, so it's good against light armor and smaller tanks and the such, and for fighting against fortified locations. Rather than just going up mech to mech, which is one of obviously the drawbacks of MechWarrior Online and bringing in certain builds. And I can understand probably why PGI bumped the hardpoints of this to 5, probably just to encourage people to come up with stealth armor builds that focus on, just alpha striking small weapons like pulses and that kind of thing. So yeah, I can understand why they did it. You can understand why they didn't bring in some of the other variants as well. So yeah, overall it's quite good. I did enjoy running this mech. Somehow this thing managed to survive a double Gauss hit to the CT, maybe damage drop off combined with poor hit detection again. It's the only thing half the time I can think that is the reason this thing lives. Oh, at this point I did try to mark the ice ferret there for the 2 mechs on my team, that they just didn't seem to be aware of it, or they didn't seem to care. One of them gets killed and then the other one goes back to fight him. I can't stick around to fight an ice ferret. Especially with this thing called out. But yeah, it was a good match. I mean, as far as what was happening, it was great. As far as my damage goes, yeah, it's naff. And I wouldn't be surprised if this one gets the dislikes and the snarky comments from some people. Oh, it was terrible, this thing. because stealth armor users have to get 500 damage and 7 kills, apparently, if you're going to do it this way. But, whatever, who gives a shit. Yeah, apparently I do, because I made that comment before, didn't I? So, yeah, it's... I think this one's coming to an end now, because there was like I think it was a Marauder 2C that was creeping around on the hill. That's the one that hit me with the Gauss rifles. So, yeah, I think at this point the Ice Ferret has been dealt with, so I think there's only like 2 mechs left, 2 or 3. And it was actually quite a short, sharp, brutal fight here on Frozen City. Usually this map devolves into a kind of camping scenario where one team sits on one side of the river valley and the other team sits on the other, and they just kind of wait for somebody to blink. But not this time. There's the Marauder pilot there, just giving up, realising it's all over for him. Just comes down and gets blown away. I don't know if he had heavy Gauss. That might have been the reason that I didn't die, because the heavy Gauss drop-off would have been significant at the range he hit me at. So that might have been the reason. And there's our last guy, little commie commando, I think it is. Yeah, charging around. He's trying to get friendly fire damage on people. I think this is probably where I did most of my damage, to be honest. I was probably scratching him to death with the rest of the team. And after that, I think that's it. So yeah, it was around. It's the FLE-20. Recommend it. Pick it up if you haven't already. And if you wait for it for C-bills, get it for C-bills. Very good. And great thing is, Flea's cheap. So have a good one all. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.